late addition to the coaching staff, but first couple weeks in Corvallis, how they've been?
It's been great. I think probably the thing that stands out is just kind of the people around. That's probably helped the transition more than anything, because with it being this late, there's a lot of catch up to do. But I think the people have been probably the most impressive part.
What are kind of your first impressions of the group you've inherited?
I would say probably the first thing that stands out is kind of the existing culture is really strong. These guys, they're kind of football junkies, and there's just guys that are around the building all the time. They got good questions. You can tell that they've played a lot of football, so they kind of understand what they're asking. And I think that the older guys have done a really nice job with the younger guys. So I would just say, just kind of cultural wise, it's very strong in the receiver room, and I think that translates on the field.
This offensive staff's got a lot of guys with offensive coordinator in their background. What sort of ideas is it like to be on with this offensive group?
Yeah, I think that what it does is it allows you to kind of get maybe to the best answer, not just, hey, this is the way we've always done it. So ultimately your goal is to put the best product you can on the field, and sometimes in the game you can get kind of stuck with this is the way we've always done it. And so I think just having different perspectives, different ideas, I think that's really contributed a lot in a short time.
Coach Bray told us on Tuesday that a big goal on the offense is increasing or improving that passing game from last season. How have you attacked that goal with your group?
Well, I think that you really try to just instill pride in our phase of the game, really being able to be impactful. And, we look at it like if we do our job in the run game, it's going to allow us to throw the ball better. So ultimately that to me, I think is a big factor. We've got to be able to run the ball to do it. But really it's the ownership piece. Like if we're throwing you the ball, we're putting the team in your hands is really kind of the way that I've kind of preached in there.
You obviously got Clemens and Walker back as a couple of the slowest, but the new guy, Jalen, kind of stood out these first couple of practices. What do you see in him?
Fast, he's very twitchy. I think just as he kind of gains more experience and gains more confidence within the system, I think that he's shown to have a lot of ability. So I'm excited to see where he goes from a progress standpoint, because he's definitely got a lot of ability.
With only a couple of weeks, being in Corvallis, how much do you really know about these guys?
Well, just from past experience, there was a lot of crossover film that I'd seen, so I had a decent idea as far as really the guys that had played, with game experience, just because whether it was, common opponents, just a lot of crossover in that regard. So had a decent idea of that. I think that my relationship with Kefense Henson has probably helped contribute to that, because he's been able to give me some real valuable insight as well.
What was your relationship like with Fence?
So I played for him. So he was my coach in college, and so he's probably the person I'm closest with in the profession. So it's kind of cool to kind of carry the torch on from him, for me, because he's a big mentor of mine.
Did he kind of put you on for the job, or was it his recommendation?
I think he gave a positive recommendation, but I had a pre-existing relationships that I think probably played a bigger part.
It didn't hurt to know it.
Right.
It
didn't hurt to know.
What other connections were there? I mean, because Coach Bray has kind of surrounded himself with kind of some known quantities.
Yeah, so I've known Coach Gunderson. I've known Gundy for a while,
Okay.
and so that's somebody, in especially during the COVID time, we spent a lot of time on Zoom talking football. So that's really probably where it started.
What are kind of your hopes in your first season for this group? What are you wanting to get out of this spring and then rolling into the fall?
Well, kind of like we were saying, just really the ownership piece, so that we can take strides in the pass game and that we can really take strides from an overall development standpoint. I think that the cool thing about this group is that there's some guys that are experienced. There's also some young guys that are very talented that I really want to see. Can we close the gap from those younger guys and kind of lift the floor up towards the older guys in the room to create quality depth? That's probably my number one thing is how much quality depth can we create and give ourselves a chance to be competitive. So, if one guy goes down, it's just next man up, and guys are ready for the moment.
Is there a guy who's really stood out to you so far that maybe you weren't super familiar with when you arrived?
I mean, Jalen Holmes it's been exciting to see him. I think David Wells is very talented. I know he played some last year, but Malachi Durant is another guy that's showed up. And then Elijah Washington enrolled early, and his effort and his talent is pretty exciting.
Getting to just acquainted with Murphy, what does he bring that you like for the passing game overall?
I mean, he's so football motivated, and he's kind of always around. He's very football intelligent. You can tell that just by the way he communicates the game. And he's got a lot of arm talent, but I think just kind of as much as anything, just his presence and really kind of football IQ has been really impressive.